What's up, everybody? Gentian Media here, and decided to deviate a little bit from the 718 GT4 videos. Always wanted to review cars, and I thought, I guess this is a good first car to start reviewing. This is a 2021 Mazda 3 Preferred. This is my friend's car. I helped her choose out this car, and yeah, it's been great. She's owned it for around 3 months. I've driven it many times. She's actually been nice enough to give me the spare key, so whenever I really need to go somewhere, she lets me take it. So yeah, I thought I'll just give y'all an overview of the car, how the car has been to us for 3 months, some things I like, some things I don't like, and also why we chose it over its competitors. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, let's start off with the power plant here. So over here we have a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. Makes around 186 horsepower, 186 foot-pounds of torque. It has no turbochargers, no supercharge, just a good old engine. And yeah, I would say that for a car that weighs 3,100 pounds, this engine has been pretty good. It doesn't feel like it's been too slow, it doesn't feel like it's been too fast. It feels like just the right amount of power. If I want to overtake someone, I could. It doesn't feel unbearably slow. It's a good engine, and it gets around 26 miles per gallon in the city, 35 miles per gallon on the highway. I think so far we've been averaging 22 in the 1,000 miles that it's been recording it, and that is mostly in the city. We haven't really had much chance to leave the city, so take that with a grain of salt. And yeah, this is the front-wheel drive model, so you can get this car in front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. And yeah, I would say this is a good old engine. So as I stated previously, this is a Mazda 3 Preferred in the front-wheel drive drivetrain. So it was around $25,500 before tax and other dealer accessories, and I would say that's a fairly reasonable price for this car. And being the preferred trim, it is the middle tier, I would say, out of all the other trims you can get for the Mazda 3. And in my opinion, this is a sweet spot trim. You get all the features that I need, and nothing that's too extravagant. And I'll get into that later on in this video. But yeah, this color is called Deep Crystal Mica Blue. It is very good. The sun isn't out today, unfortunately, so you can't really see it, but there's like a deep blue sparkle, excuse the dirt, and yeah, it is great. So without further ado, let's get into the differences between the Mazda 3 Preferred and the base Mazda 3. So starting outside, the grille is a little different between the Mazda 3 Preferred and the base Mazda, so that's one thing. The other thing is, apparently you don't get the LED blinkers on the side, on the door, in the base Mazda, so you get that in the Preferred as well. In the Preferred trim as well, you get these upgraded 18-inch wheels. On the base Mazda 3, it is 16 inches. Other than that, there's not really much difference on the outside, so let's head on over to the interior. So this car also has keyless go, so in order to unlock the door, I have the key in my pocket. I can just place my hand on the door handle and it unlocks like that. If I want to lock it, there's a little indentation right there. I can just put my finger right over there and it unlocks the car. Regardless, let's hop in inside. And over here, you are greeted by the interior of the Mazda 3, which in my opinion is absolutely stunning, especially for its price range. And I'll talk more about that later. But the other difference you get in the Mazda 3 Preferred versus the base is you get power seats. This is, I would say, 8-way adjustable, so you can move the seat forward and back. You can tilt the backrest. You can also move the seat up and down like this. You also have lumbar support over here. I don't know if you're able to see that, but it's pretty cool. And along with the Preferred trim, you also get memory seats, which is very helpful. So because I drive this car a lot, I saved mine to the second one. My friend saved hers the first one, so that's very cool. You also, let me just hop in right here and close the door. So more differences between the Mazda 3 Preferred and the base Mazda 3. Firstly, the steering wheel is leather, and the gear selector here is also leather. And the base Mazda 3, it's not leather, it's some type of other material. Another thing you get in the Preferred trim is you get heated seats, which is very, very nice. It comes in clutch, especially around this time of the year in Texas. You also get a sunroof right here, and you can open it up. I would say it's the right size. You know, it's not a panoramic roof, but you know, it's enough to get the light in from the, you know, the driver's seat and the passenger seat right here. The Preferred, the Preferred trim also comes with sunglasses holders, which is very nice, and I find that quite interesting that the base Mazda 3 doesn't have that. But regardless, this car also has blind spot assist, indicated by that triangle over there and over here. And the cool thing is, on the center tack over here, it actually tells you if there's a car in a blind spot by these like little check marks on the side, and it can be on either side. So you know, that's quite helpful. This car also has lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control, which is you know, very helpful, especially for long journeys. And yeah, I will say this is a very well equipped car. Leatherette seats on the Preferred. If you want leather seats, you have to go for the I think the premium trim and above. And the other thing about the Preferred Mazda 3 compared to the base is you get these you get the rear armrest right there with cup holders. You don't get that in the base Mazda 3. Yeah, again, very well equipped car. Everything you need, where it doesn't feel like you're behind the times or anything when compared to other new cars. And yeah, I especially like this bronze stitching over here. It took me a few days to notice that. I thought it was like a, you know, a gray black stitching, but it's actually bronze. It extends all the way over here to the door. A few other things that it has is a dual zone climate control, and one thing I forgot to notice is when you put the car in reverse, as a reverse camera, of course, it doesn't actually flicker in real life. It's just the camera. But one thing I really like is when it senses a car coming from either the right or the left, it'll warn you, hey, there's a car coming on the right or left, or hey, there's a car coming right at you. So that's quite cool to have as well. The one thing I really like is that the mirrors also fold down when you put in reverse, as you can see here. And you can actually choose which mirror to dip by clicking, you know, either of these buttons. Like over here, when I put in reverse now, this mirror also dips. And I don't know, I quite like that. I've never had a car with that feature before, so you know, it feels like a luxury car to me. But other than that, it's quite great. And the other thing I like is and more car companies should do it often. You know, this is a sun visor right here, but over here, well, it's better shown over here, but you can actually take it out, and you know, if the sun is blocking, you know, if the sun is basically shining through like past this, you can open up right here. So like, let's say I'm driving, you know, and I have the sun visor here, but the sun's coming through over there, which happens quite often. I can just pull out the shader and boom, it blocks it. I think that is just awesome, and more cars need that. So let's move on to 5 things I don't like about this car. So the first thing I don't like too much is, you know, I'm 5'10" and my seating position is set. And I'm currently sitting behind myself, and you know, it's not the most comfortable place in the world, but you know, I wouldn't complain. The Mazda 3 is a pretty small car. I think it's the smallest Mazda you can get in the United States. And you know, I have pretty good knee room, foot room. You know, could be a little bit better. Headroom is also pretty good. But you know, if you're going to be hauling a lot of people, you know, I would probably look potentially elsewhere, maybe like a Civic, because the Civic you have a lot more space in the rear. But other than that, you know, if you know, like my friend, if this is your car and you just need to, you know, carry people conventionally, you know, like just sometimes, this is a great option for you. The second thing I don't like about this car is the sound system. This car has the 8-speaker Mazda sound system, so you know, it's no Bose or Burmester like in the higher end cars. Though if you do want Bose, you can get the premium trim and above. Those cars have Bose, and honestly, the sound system is pretty good. You know, it just for me personally, it doesn't have the bass. It doesn't have the oomph, unless I really crank it up. But you know, it's loud. It's fairly good. It could get some getting used to. One thing that Mazda did here is they don't have the speaker on the door. I figure maybe it's over here instead. And this is a good thing because Savage Geese actually made a video saying that because there is no big hole on the door, it can actually keep the sound insulation in the car down. So that's pretty interesting. The third thing that I don't want to say that I don't like, but I would say it's a learning curve, is this infotainment system. Now, in my opinion, I absolutely love this infotainment system. Like, you know, it's wide, it looks expensive. You know, when I have CarPlay on, it takes up the whole screen. I absolutely love that, but it is not touchscreen. And for me personally, that's fine. But for someone like my friend, you know, this is her first car. You know, she hasn't driven, she hasn't gotten her license when she was 16. She got it later on in her life. But you know, this is her first car, and she's so used to, like, you know, like an iPhone or an iPad or even her computer where, you know, she wants to touch the screen. But over here, you have a rotary knob. So you have to kind of get used to that. And for CarPlay, where, like, you know, let's say you have the song playing, but you also want to do something else, you have to twist the knob all the way and, like, you know, find the right button to click on it. So personally, I would say that the infotainment is there's a learning curve involved, but I wouldn't discount how amazing it is. Honestly, I think this is my favorite out of all the other cars in the segment. Now, going back to this infotainment, the other thing I don't like is when you put in reverse, the rear lines do not move with the steering wheel. As I'm demonstrating, you know, I'm moving the wheel, but the lines, they're staying straight. You know, when you're parking, and again, you know, this is my friend's first car. You know, she learned how to park in this car. You know, the lines moving helps you aid in, you know, parking the car. And, you know, with these lines basically stuck, I wouldn't say it helps much. I would say it really helps for, like, when you're parallel parking and you want to see how close you are to the car. It gives you, like, good perception of that. But other than that, I would say that, you know, it's, you know, come on, Mazda, like, you could have like implemented something where it can move with it. But yeah, that's the other thing I don't quite like about this car. The last thing I don't like is piano black. Now, piano black is a trim, and look, we've only had this car for right under 1,000 miles, and as you can tell, it's all scratched up already. I wouldn't say this is entirely Mazda's fault. It's basically it's a trend in today's today's car world. It's also over here. Look, I got this car washed like maybe a few days ago, and it's already dusty. And look, if I take a towel and I wipe it down, yeah, it helps a little bit, but look, see, my fingerprint shows. It is just, you know, I don't quite like that. I wish they could have used like a matte plastic or whatnot. I get it. It looks, you know, high end. It looks high scale, but you know, I wouldn't say it's the perfect material for, you know, for longevity. It makes this, you know, nearly 1,000-mile car, you know, like it ages terribly. Now, granted, even though the things that I don't like are pretty nitpicky, and this is an amazing car, I would love to go into the 5 things that I like, or, you know, dare I say, love about this car. And the first thing I love about this car is just the styling inside out. Like, you know, I absolutely love the LED blinkers. It makes it look super high scale. It's only in the front. It's not only on the door mirrors, but it can also be seen in the back. Like, it just looks really high quality and expensive, and I absolutely love that. And the styling is not only on the outside, but, you know, you spend the majority of the time inside the car, and the interior of this car is just super, you know, high upscale. It does not look like a $25,000 car. I would say it looks like, you know, a $30,000, $40,000 car. Like, it makes an Audi A3, which starts at, like, you know, 30,000 plus. You know, it makes it look like a cheap car. You know, in here it's very nice. You know, you got stitching, you have the digital gauge in the center, you have this wide infotainment. You know, I love the material they used on the door. Besides the piano black, of course, I love the leather, the silver trim that goes down here. It integrates in the door handle. It is just, you know, the attention detail is just nice. Let me get you a better. The door. Now, of course, I'm a car nerd, so I appreciate the littlest of things, but just one thing I absolutely love about this car, and one thing that this car just demolishes as compared to the competitors, is just look at this. Look at the interior. It is just beautiful. Now, I know I keep going back to the infotainment, but you interact with it a lot, and that's the other thing I like about this car. It is just so simple. Like over here you have information, like one day it showed that tire pressure was low, so you click information and it will tell you everything wrong with the car. So over here it doesn't really tell us, see, no warning messages. It's nicely laid out. It's not confusing, and for CarPlay it just pops up right here, and if you want to go to CarPlay you just go like that and it goes to CarPlay. I also like these these hot keys over here, where like if I want to go to music, I can just click the music button right here and it goes to it directly. If I want to go home, I can just click home right here, it goes home. And not only does it work on the infotainment, but it also works for CarPlay, where if I want to go home to the home screen on CarPlay, I can just click this button. If I want to go to my Apple Music, I can click this button. Apple Maps, click this button. It just it's very, very well integrated, and again, I just love the size of it. I just love the horizontal the shape of it. It just looks super high upscale, and when you're driving like this, it puts cars like Audi to shame, in my opinion, when looking at the A3. And that's another thing I absolutely love about this car. Now, the other thing I absolutely love about this car is the transmission. Now, most cars in this price point have a CVT transmission, and personally, I'm not a fan of CVT because, it has some reliability problems in the future. I wouldn't say it's fairly new technology, but it is when compared to good old automatic transmission. And I also don't like how in CVT cars, it just revs and kind of stays there. It's not smooth. It's not natural for me. And with this car having a good old 6-speed automatic, I just absolutely love that. It goes through the gears very smoothly. I never had a problem with it, like, clunking or being jittery. It is just smooth 6-speed automatic. And one thing I also love is the upshifts and downshifts. They're in the right position. If you want to upshift, you pull towards yourself. If you want to downshift, you pull the other way, or I guess you push. And it's funny that a Mazda 3 has this, but cars way more expensive in the price point don't have this. My dad has a 911, and he has a PDK, and the plus and minus is switched for some reason. Now, of course, the newer 911s, they fixed it, but I just like the thought that Mazda put into putting the plus and the minus, the way that us car enthusiasts want it. So, in a C world, in a C where basically all the auto manufacturers are putting CVT transmission in the car, I like how this car has a good old 6-speed automatic, and that's one thing I absolutely love about this car, and one reason why I told my friend that he should get a Mazda 3 instead of like a Civic or a Hyundai Elantra. Now, the fourth thing I like about this car is the chassis. It's a very good, rigid, sporty chassis. This car is made by Mazda. It's the same people that made the Miata, so their benchmark for I guess handling and balance, it's all valid when compared to like a Hyundai or something. And I've had a chance of of course, since it's not my car, I haven't had a chance to go balls to the wall, and no offense, I don't want to do that in a Mazda 3, but I've driven this car in a sporty environment, like maybe having a little bit of fun on a back road, just because why not. And I'm very impressed with this car. It handles really well for what it is, and it makes it a lot of fun to drive. It even has a sport button right here, so see, sport. And I'm not sure what the sport button does. I know it definitely lowers the gear. So let's say you're normally driving in 5th gear, it will be in 4th instead. Let me just turn that off. But yeah, it is a genuinely fun car to drive if you want to hoon around a bit. The fifth thing I absolutely love about this car is the features it has. It has everything I think that one needs, and possibly everything that one wants. Like, it has the blind spot monitoring. It has adaptive cruise control. It has lane keep assist. You know, it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Has a fairly decent sound system. I mean, you know, I honestly don't know what more I would want from this car. And on top of that, you can link your Mazda app with the car, and you know, it can tell you information about the car, like, you know, how many miles you have, how much gas you have. You can remote start the car. You can also, you know, when you remote start the car, you can have your seat heater running. You can adjust the AC. You know, just little things like that. You know, I absolutely love. And yeah, that's the fifth thing I like about this car. Now, without further ado, let's go on for a little drive. Yeah. All right, hello everybody. So welcome to the drive section of the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drive around, and you guys can get a glimpse of basically, you know, a feel of how it's like, you know, being a passenger of this car. You know, how quiet it is. You know, the sounds and all that stuff. And you know, I stuck my camera up there so you guys can, you know, get a good view of how it's like. So before I get into that, I thought I'll talk a little bit more about the car. One thing that I do wish that this car has, that the Civics have, is auto steer. And you know what that is let's say you're driving on the highway, and you know, you're just chilling, I guess. You know, you got a long drive. For the Civics, you know, you just gotta keep your hands on the wheel, and it actually steers for you. So even when there's like a little, you know, a little corner, it steers for you. This car doesn't have that. So I wish this car has that. But regardless, I think this is an amazing car. You know, this is my friend's first car. She hasn't driven, and you know, she hasn't had her license in years. So you know, she was looking for a comfortable, you know, reliable car for you know, in the high, you know, mid to high 20s. And you know, she wants something nice, as all people do. You know, you gotta treat yourself. And yeah, I thought this was a great option. On top of that, she wanted to be unique, and you know, usually I'll just tell people to get a Civic, but you know, everyone and their mom has a Civic, so you know, this was a great option. You know, it's unique. You don't really see many of these cars around, and honestly, I don't understand that, because you know, in my opinion, this is better than the Civic. Like, the interior is, you know, it feels a lot more upscale. You know, you have good features in this car. It's just, you know, it looks better. It's more unique. I think when comparing the Civic of the you know, of the comparable trim to this, I think this is a bit more sporty. You know, I love the automatic transmission when compared to the CVT. You know, I think this is, you know, I would choose this over a Civic. And actually, for a compact car, you know, a budget-ish compact car category, this would be my winner here. So, you know, those are my thoughts. You know, some things I wish they had, as I said, auto steer, and also, you know, a better sound system would be nice. But, you know, it's all very subjective. So, if you're very interested, you know, drive this car at your local dealership. Prices for us haven't been bad. We're located in Central Texas. Granted, these in the current economy, you know, where there's a chip shortage, and you know, everyone has money due to COVID, it's not too hard to find a car, though it does get sold very quickly. And a lot of dealerships, you know, I've seen dealerships give, like, you know, a few $100 discounts on this car. A dealership that we got it from, you know, they didn't give us any discount, but they gave us a warranty forever thing, DeMontron to Mazda in Houston. So basically, you know, if you plan to own this car for a while, it gives you a free powertrain warranty as long as you change oil one time a year, which I think is pretty nice. But yeah, those are my thoughts about the car. You know, if you're looking to get this car, you know, check it out, buy it. Of course, not every car is perfect, and I've listed the faults. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I haven't really, you know, this is my first review video. This is actually my second video on the channel. So, you know, there are some improvements I can make here and there, of course. So let me know in the comments down below as well. Another thing I want to talk about is this car hasn't really rattled or creaked you know, in the 3 months we had it. Though now, I don't know if it's because the phone is up there, but I know there's like a rattling sound coming from the, you know, from up here. So, you know, I guess when I take the phone off, I'll let you guys know if the creak still persists. But yeah, again, subscribe, like the video. Let me know what I can improve on. You know, I'm always looking to improve. You know, I'm a car guy, so I have a 718 GT4 coming in. That'll come in mid-May. So I'll be doing a lot of videos about that. POV videos and whatnot, track videos. So yeah, stay subscribed, and plenty more videos to come. And thank you guys for watching. See ya.